Yo, good morning. Welcome to the Stokastic.com NBA strategy show presented by Prize Picks. Wow, did we just get some news coming in hot? Woo! How about that?
Ruined my morning. Ruined my morning.
Well, there was some bit of a possibility that Joel Embiid was going to play because, by the way, I'm Dave Loughran at Lafayette_D, joined by Josh Engleman at Josh Engleman. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below if you're listening after the fact. And you podcast listeners, we see you, we hear you. Leave a rating, review, subscribe to the pod, tell your friends, all that good stuff. We have fun here and we get you through your morning. All right, so I think first of all, the video of him winning the MVP I thought was very cool. I've said many times, if he won it or lost it, I actually did not care at all. If it were Jokic and the team rallied around him, would have been all for it. I love that type of stuff. I love that type of team rally around camaraderie type deal. The crying may have been a bit of it. It's excessive, but he's been going after this for years. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was great to see that Harden, Embiid, embrace good stuff. But after that, and Shams tweeted this out earlier, he was like, Joel Embiid said, "I'm back." What does that mean? Because it's not like he's back in the sense that he won the MVP again, because this is the first time he won it. And then Doc had noted that he's doubtful, but if he responds well, there's a possibility that he'll be upgraded. So now, for those of you that are not familiar with what I'm talking about, Joel Embiid is on track to play tonight. The question, Josh, now becomes, how good will he be in terms of his health? 50%, 100%, 90%? Who knows?
Apparently he's wearing like a knee brace or something when he comes back. So I don't know. I wasn't ready for this, man. I spent the first 2.5 hours of my day projecting 32 minutes to Paul Reed. So
yeah, it's tough, man.
I didn't want him back.
Paul Reed played massive minutes last game.
Yeah, I know.
And was good.
I hate this so much. What a bullshit MVP, by the way. Seriously, whatever voter left Nikola Jokic off of the top three should never be allowed to vote again.
Yeah, I didn't even look at that. Again, I don't care about MVP. I did not even see that he was.
I care about that simpleton.
Yeah. Well, there was also like a Jazz beat reporter that had Walker Kessler as Rookie of the Year. And
I'm okay with that.
That's fine, but I'm not, in the sense
that's grimy. Like it's,
that's what I mean. I'm saying, like, perception and optics are kind of everything, right? And you know why it looked bad? Not because he took a good rookie in Walker Kessler and said that he was Rookie of the Year, but it was the only vote for Walker Kessler. And he's like from the Salt Lake Tribune.
Of course.
That doesn't look great.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I'm angry for Jokic.
Yeah, whatever, dude.
He should have been the MVP. To leave him off of the top three. Essentially a triple-double averaging, most efficient offensive season ever type performance for the number one seed in the West. And somebody was like, yeah, it's probably not him. The reigning two-time defending MVP. That's lunacy, man. You shouldn't be allowed to talk about basketball.
But who cares?
I don't care if you give it to Joel Embiid. To think that Jokic isn't fourth is insane.
Well, that's insane. Of course. Oh, yes, of course. That's insane. But this is why nobody, like, people getting worked up about this. And you're talking about like taking him out of the top three. That's one thing. People getting worked up about Jokic not winning.
Yeah, I don't care about that, really. I mean, it's wrong, but I don't care.
Imbeciles. And here's why. Because you're wasting your time worried about something where the NBA is clearly saying, we want more parity in the league, right? Like, we want to mix it up. That's all this is. The people that get the votes are saying, and by the way, you're not actually imbeciles. We were having a conversation about that earlier on the show. I just wanted to use that. You guys are great. But don't get worked up. They just wanted they just wanted something different. That's all it is. It could have been Embiid. Next year, maybe it's Jokic again or somebody else. None of this matters. None of this is meaningful. None of this affects our life. I just thought the video was pretty cool with the Sixers, and it made me happy.
I did not watch it. So
it was cool. They were all sitting there together during the announcement, and Embiid was kind of emotional. They were all chanting MVP and stuff. Harden came over, gave him an embrace. It was a cool video. I like those type of videos, dude. I love watching locker room videos of coaches after games on bad teams in the NFL. I absolutely love it. Like, it's fun to me. A team's having a bad season. They come in, they knock off a great team, and it doesn't matter what the rest of the season has looked like. That moment right there is fantastic for everyone, right? It's just ecstasy. And I enjoy watching that type of stuff where you can see like a bad team have a great turnout or a great result. And the coaches I was doing with the Lions for a long time, or the Jags and stuff. It's fun. But yeah, I mean, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, but the big picture here is that Joel Embiid is playing today, or on track to play. Wow, is that right, Jacob? The Sixers are the first NBA team to have 5 different MVPs. Can you name all of them, Josh? It actually shouldn't be hard.
Embiid, obviously. Yep. AI?
Yep.
Dr. J?
Yep.
Moses?
Yep.
Am I missing something obvious? It can't be recent.
You said Moses, Iverson, Embiid, and
Doc.
And who else?
Dr. J?
Oh, you're missing the most obvious. Yes, when you get this, you're going to be like, okay. The most obvious. The most obvious, dude. While ago.
Will?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was working my way back, and I was just like, who am I missing that's so obvious right now? Because I started thinking, I was like, Jordan, Kareem, no. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Dan Charlin going with the guy from the Celtics. That's probably not it. Okay.
Who?
He went Russell.
Oh, well, yeah.
Not quite. Hey, got it, though.
Yeah, you got it. That was solid, dude. I'm
clearly didn't look it up.
If I gave you, like, if I put odds on you knowing that, I'd put you as a heavy favorite to know that. So I'm not surprised. Yeah. I would have put you as a heavy favorite. Like, if I gave you time, there's no time limit, you would have got that pretty easy, I think.
I don't think I knew that Dr. J did, but I just ran out of people that it could have been.
So, hey, it's a brand. This isn't like, okay, DeAnthony Melton was doubtful. Now he's probable. This is Joel Embiid expected to play. So it really changes the entire foundation of the slate.
That's an understatement, as someone who worked their way through it and really liked it about an hour ago.
Yeah. Shout out to Paul Reed, though, man. Shout out to Paul Reed. He did what they needed him to do. PJ Tucker excoriated him on the bench to the point where in the post-game conference, Doc Rivers goes, yeah, it was borderline excessive. That's what he said.
He went at it. Like it was good.
I can't say the last word that he used, but
why not?
Well, because I definitely can.
What was it to start with?
I don't know why you're trying to bait me into something like this. You're on the show with me.
Well, yeah, that's why. If I wasn't on the show with you, I wouldn't be baiting you into this at all.
You'd be in chat.
That's the whole point of this.
You'd be in chat. You'd be doing the same thing. He comes out, he grabs multiple offensive rebounds, and then knocks down 4 free throws in crunch time. It's for real. Shout out to Paul Reed, unheralded hero of that game. Everyone's talking about Harden, who was great, but Paul Reed was fantastic as well, man. Played 37 minutes. He was awesome.
Yeah, the real tricky part here is going to be like, does Paul Reed still play a lot today?
I was just going to say, like, does Paul Reed get 20 minutes in this game?
Like, he's 7K on DraftKings.
It doesn't matter for
fantasy
him because you can't play him.
Yeah.
But it matters for Embiid if you're considering him on a showdown slate.
So I don't even look at it like that necessarily. I think it matters for George Niang, Jalen McDaniels, who leaves the rotation now. If you think that Paul Reed maintains a role, which based on the first game, I don't know how you take Paul Reed off, but like, what do you do with PJ Tucker's minutes now? Now that he doesn't have to, like, because they only played PJ Tucker or Paul Reed at center. So we have to redistribute somewhere. Somebody's got to leave this rotation, I think. If you think Paul Reed sticks around.
Well, hold on a second.
Do you think Paul Reed plays at all? I think that's a real question.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We got to get Paul Reed minutes from somewhere. Let's do it because I have not worked my way through this. If you want to dive in now and talk Sixers.
Let's do it. Yeah. Well, let's just do let's do that. backup center minutes, I think all go to Paul Reed.
Okay, that becomes very interesting then. So what do we want to go
to? Could be wrong, but it wouldn't shock me with the way he's played.
If that happens, we're going to lose somebody somewhere,
right.
But we'll get to it. What do we want to say for Embiid? 32?
So okay, let's start from the top down. If Embiid's healthy, how many minutes are we giving to him in this game? 38?
Yeah. I think 36 to 38.
Okay. Meet you in the middle at 37. So
yeah,
37. We're assuming I think 32 is pretty reasonable here. I wouldn't be shocked if the problem is we have no idea if he's okay. Like whenever someone goes from doubtful to expected to play, it's such a tough thing. Like, so yeah, let's be more on the conservative side. We'll go with, you want to go 32 minutes? I wouldn't be shocked if he played 32 and Paul Reed played 16 and grabbed all of the backup 5 minutes.
So that's where. So let's say that then we'll go 32-16. What is your outlook?
What do you think?
0?
You really think Paul Reed doesn't play?
I think it's live. Look, here's the deal. If we want to give Paul Reed 16 minutes, how many minutes do you want to give to PJ Tucker?
So, see, here's the way I look at it. I think there is a greater chance, and I just want to pull up last game, okay? Hold on one second. I want to pull up last game. All right, so we saw an 8-man rotation without Embiid, right? 8-man rotation without Embiid. Niang played 13, Melton played 25, McDaniels played 11, Tucker 36, Harris 42, just running down the list here. Paul Reed almost 38. Maxey played 36, and he left for a couple minutes there with that when he banged his knee. And then Harden played 39. I think there's a higher likelihood that either Niang or McDaniels get bumped over Paul Reed.
I think that's very live, but that's where we got to start. Like, if we want to go 26, 28 minutes on PJ Tucker, we want to say 28, we got to free up 10 minutes somewhere. Assuming we're going 40 to Harden, I got 38 in for Harris. I got 38 in for Maxey. I went 26 to Melton after that game. We're running out of places to take minutes from. So whether it's McDaniels, Niang, one of those two guys, or Paul Reed is gonzo. But I feel like it's going to be Paul Reed that has to go away.
Okay. That just means there's numerous ways to play this then.
Yeah. And like Niang and McDaniels, given their prices, are pay down options that are relevant options.
I have a tough time believing that Paul Reed had a few struggles last game. There were times where there were some defensive lapses for sure. But again, I keep coming back to the rebounding factor. And if you want to look at that game, those late turnovers too for the Boston Celtics hurt them. But if you look at that game, I still think rebounding plays such a big role in this one, where the Philadelphia 76ers probably could get a bit of an advantage. I mean, they only had, do you know how many rebounds the Sixers had last game?
34.
28.
Yeah, that's pretty close for just off the top of the dome.
Yeah, crazy though, right? Celtics turned the ball over 16 times. Sixers only 6. That's where the real difference was. That's where the difference in this game was made, outside of a few offensive rebounds to keep the game alive for the Sixers, and just nasty Harden threes late in the game with Horford in his face. I mean, I think rebounding could be a real issue for this team if you don't have a big out there.
Maybe. Man. I don't have a great feel for it. This is really complicated matters. I think, if we want to think about it, Paul Reed got 10, 11, and 13 minutes in the 3 games previous when Joel Embiid was in. At that point in time, we were getting, call it 15 from Niang, call it 15 from Jalen McDaniels. 28
but those would have been
PJ
all the
Tucker.
backup center minutes, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, he was playing as the straight backup previously. But I don't know, as these series go on, Do you need Paul Reed out there if you can go 5 out with PJ Tucker in the playoffs? I don't know what their preference is at this point. I would think as we go further into the playoffs, when Joel Embiid is healthy, that Paul Reed goes away. That would be my expectation.
It's possible. The only counter to that is like if you stagger these rotations, I have a sneaky suspicion that that you may see a much shorter first quarter and third quarter rotation from Embiid. I think that's definitely possible here. If you were to do something like that, you can stagger these rotations and you can still keep shooting on the floor, keep shooters on the floor if Paul Reed is your backup 5.
Yeah, I agree. It's an interesting dynamic for today. I wish Paul Reed's price was like relevant as a backup because that would really make him like a very interesting thing. So normally Embiid plays basically the entire first quarter.
Right.
I wonder where they're cutting him out there.
Would it shock you if they limited him if they limited his rotations? It wouldn't shock me at all. We see that frequently happen in the NBA when guys return from injury, specifically lower body injuries, specifically if they're been out a while and they're not fully conditioned. I wouldn't be surprised to see Embiid play like a 5 or 6 minute rotation to start the game. Come back in around the beginning of the second quarter, close out the second quarter, but take a break in the middle of that for a couple minutes. Doesn't seem crazy.
Oh man, them having a game in the books is just so important because they can afford to like try something today, as weird as it sounds. I mean, with the way that McDaniels, we only got 11 minutes out of McDaniels in game 1. Maybe that's the guy that goes away. I wouldn't think it's Niang, but we are in a very interesting dynamic here 4 minutes. It makes PJ Tucker look a lot worse. I think that's the pretty easy thing to say, unless you think that Reed goes away. I just don't know if they need Reed on the second unit other than for your rebounding.
They might not. But I'm saying, how much are they prioritizing rebounding?
Yeah, it is an interesting balance. By the way, 11K Embiid going to be pretty difficult to get to today in comparison to trying to get to Harden on the same team, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Like, you got to be very, very excited to get to Joel Embiid to want to roster him on DraftKings today.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't know how you can be that optimistic in his playing time.
Me neither. And
I hope he goes out there with this MVP award and just looks like absolute ass.
I think it's possible that he does. I really do. I think it's very possible that he does. Tokyo Swan said Tucker's way better basketball player than Reed. Playing Reed over Tucker isn't happening. Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily. That's what I'm saying. There's multiple iterations of this. Like, it could be McDaniels or Niang that loses minutes and Tucker still plays a lot. Like, Tucker is technically not tied entirely to Joel Embiid, unless you think Tucker's getting the backup center minutes. But it is possible that Reed gets the backup 5 minutes and that McDaniels or George Niang lose minutes because Tucker plays 35 minutes. Like, that's live to happen.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going to go here. Like, we know the guys that are playing, like Embiid is playing whatever minutes they determine he's playing. Tyrese Maxey is playing essentially as many as he can handle. Harden as many as he can handle. Tobias Harris to a lesser degree, as many as he can handle. And after that, it's just, wow. Yeah, Josh was really wrong about that Dennis Schroeder rotation yesterday, Christopher. Nailed it. That was a tough one there for me. Definitely didn't need him yesterday.
You know what else I wonder? We haven't even talked about James Harden yet. What about the fact that James Harden was absolutely dominant as a scorer last game? Truly dominant. And I promise you, this is no homerism involved. Because I hate when people do this and they're just completely baseless in what they say. There were a lot of calls that Harden would normally get that he did not get. Whether you want to say that he should have got him or not, there was a 3 or 2 where they did not give him room to land. Landed on Marcus Smart's foot. Yeah. Like, his foot was under him. I'm sure you saw that one. I mean, there were a couple. Harden's going to complain. Everyone in the NBA complains about everything. It's maddening. But he had 45 points, and fortunately, it didn't make a difference that there were some missed opportunities there from a refereeing perspective. I guess what I'm saying, though, is that you're talking now about what if Embiid comes back? What if Embiid isn't operating with a 40% usage rate, man? What if Harden, what if after that last game, this is more evenly distributed and this is now the playoffs and the semifinals and not just the Nets where they coasted through that series. Harden didn't need to do dick there. No. What if we see a more evenly distributed usage throughout this offense, specifically with James Harden?
I mean, this season in all games where only their rotation, like their playoff rotation pieces were on the floor, 24% usage rate for James Harden, 36.5 for Embiid. That's only the guys that are going to play today. So like every other slop, Shake Milton minute type bullshit gets thrown out. Core rotation, got to be part of that 5-man rotation. We're going to see a discount in James Harden today. He is probably priced a little too high. He'll be really interesting in GPPs today. I assume this Embiid news brings him down quite a bit.
I do too. And it interests me a lot, honestly. It really interests me a ton. If James Harden's ownership comes down considerably, and now you're talking about a guy that coming off a 45-point game, Joel Embiid expected to return, but you really don't know how he's going to be. You also don't know if Joel Embiid plays 30 minutes, that means 18 of Harden's minutes are coming with Joel Embiid off the floor as well.
Yeah, he should cook in those situations. There's also this feeling that I have thinking about Philly where like this is the zigzag in the NBA. The expectation coming out here is that the Sixers do not win this basketball game and that the Boston Celtics right the ship, fix all the mistakes, don't have an absolute dog shit defense today, because that was the problem. They couldn't defend anything. It wasn't their offense that struggled.
Well, the turnovers were terrible though. Terrible.
Yeah, but I mean, they had like 130 offensive rating or something for that game. I mean, that's their defense was putrid against a team missing, their 1B offensive player, a 1A, depending on how you want to qualify this, of who's better offensively.
So how do we want to play this?
I have no idea. I'm trying to I just don't know who to give these minutes to. I think the most likely scenario is that Paul Reed doesn't get all of the backup center minutes, that he gets most. So if we go 32 Embiid, I think like 12 Paul Reed, 4 PJ Tucker is probably
I think that's reasonable.
The more likely scenario. Look, when it comes to the playoffs, that's the reason PJ Tucker's on this team. So I assume his minutes maintain around 30.
I'm with you, but I also think you could see George Niang get axed pretty hard.
I don't know if it's Niang. I think it's McDaniels before Niang.
It could be either of them. One
Agreed.
of them.
Yeah.
I think one of them gets the minutes sawed in half on this one, maybe more actually.
So I got to pull rates because obviously I have everything projected for Embiid. I'm going to try to dump these usage rates into all of these guys as quick as I can here so that I can get an idea of how these guys actually project given what we just looked at. Like, do you think Embiid is limited today?
I don't know I don't know if it'll be explicitly stated that he's limited. I personally have a difficult time believing he plays 38 minutes. That's again, I know as much as anybody. You know as much as anyone right now, which is effectively nothing, right?
Yeah.
But I have a tough time believing he plays 38 minutes. I'll throw the same question to you.
That wasn't how I was asking you that question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Oh, wait, limited performance-wise?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think I don't know. Okay, I would probably I'd be tempted to project him for 85% of his regular rates. Do you feel comfortable projecting him for his normal rates?
I mean, comfortable, no, but I will.
Because you would just feel like, you have to?
Yeah. So I updated. I didn't touch assist rates, but I assume they'll be like relatively close. It's not like somebody becomes the point guard now or anything like that. But I did update all of the usage rates to match sort of their normal run here. I got James Harden at 44.5 fantasy points. I get Embiid at 46.8. I'm going to grab these projections now, throw them in to Fantasy Cruncher, which you can get at Stokastic.com, by the way, if you want to. I don't know the prices any longer, but trying to plug it while it happens. I want to see what this looks like now from like a lineup generation standpoint, because if you go to watch the contenders today, spoiler alert, Joel Embiid is assumed out. So I put out videos that were worth precisely $0 for people for today. So I can at least, if you're watching this show, I can at least give you the updated info to know like what we're looking at for today.
Speaking of Fantasy Cruncher, I'm sure you saw it today. Crypto Goat DFS on Twitter tweeted us. He said, been listening to you guys since the old FanVice days. Man, shout out to the FanVice days. That was almost 5 years ago now. You were here already. That's how we met.
Yeah. Yes.
Adam and I came over. Ben came over. A bunch of us came over from FanVice.
Magic.
Yeah. Old Andrew Barron. I actually talked to him a couple weeks ago. Keep crushing it. Best show on the platform. Best show on platform, hands down. But he took second in the jab step, $7,700 here in total. And you know what he said? I used the Stokastic projections plus Fantasy Cruncher. I mean, there you go.
The way to do it.
Go. And I'll have you guys know, Josh, that Steve Buzzard, I
already know what's coming, but go for it.
I'm actually at a loss for words. 100,000 again yesterday. 100. This is the CFO and the guy that does a lot of our projections. Another 100,000. It is actually. I think I'm comfortable saying now it's the biggest heater I've ever seen.
It's I can't think of a better one.
That's what I mean.
At this point, I mean,
I'm more comfortable saying that than I am giving Embiid 100% of his regular projection.
I don't want this to come out the way that it's about to sound. Like last night's win was the high dollar buy-in win, which is like, it doesn't change anything. It's still an incredible heater. If it would have been in the large field,
would have been even more insane.
It's even more ridiculous. Yeah, I don't mean it like it's a heater. I can't think of another person that has had a bigger run than this.
Me neither. And in honor of Steve's insane run, we're passing some of this on to you guys. 3 days for $5, whether it's weekly or monthly. And you're looking to start that off the first 3 days. So 3 days, if you wanted to do that trial, $5. Okay. Link is in the description. I'm looking at it right now. You'll see $5 for 3 days, Stokastic plus Platinum weekly, $5 for 3 days, Stokastic plus Platinum monthly, $5 for the first 3 days. If you haven't gotten in on that, go ahead and do so. The link is down there. Yeah, the projections, everything just absolutely crushing. Shout out to Crypto Goat DFS, by the way, or Lil Soupy for that win, using the projections and the and Fantasy Cruncher. But on top of everything else, you're getting all of the tools for every single sport. Just absolutely crushing it lately. Basketball, baseball, MMA, PGA, NASCAR. We got NHL, F1, all of that. So use that link if you're looking to get in on it. Or if you just want 50% off everything on the site, that link is down there as well, including the lineup generator, which is less than $4.50 for the first week. All right, so I want to wrap Philly up with this. Are you done, or are you still working on this?
I've got projections updated.
All right, so let's
Philly
do this
as generically as I can for right now.
How many? I want to hear. This will help the viewers right now, because
get ready for what's about to happen too.
Yeah. So. Exactly, Sir Dwayne. Yeah, and I don't know when it's going to stop. It's been absolutely insane. Tyrone said the CFO been cheating his ass off. Look, if you were new to DFS and you thought it was possible to cheat, you would definitely say that. Like, knowing that it's impossible to cheat. But like, you would, if you were brand new, you'd go, okay, well, it's rigged because it doesn't seem possible.
No, look, the DMs between Adam and I over the past 2 week stretch for Steve have been really not complimentary to Steve, because We would like him to share some of the run good for the rest of us because it's becoming incredibly disconcerting.
I know Adams can't be just like, oh, I'm so happy for him.
Well, last night was Steve is winning MLB. Just got passed at the end and finished second. Nobody runs worse than him. Oh, never mind. He still won high stakes for 100K.
Was that Adam?
Yeah. At, midnight or 1 o'clock or whatever. That's how I wake up to it now. It's just like, by the way, Steve won golf, NBA, MLB, and some new made up sport. He's the fucking 100K for pickleball. Like, it's insane.
So let's go over. I want to be able to do a solid for the viewers here. I think we've done a pretty decent job of breaking down what the possibilities are with this rotation today. It's so much different than if it's a regular season game because you're like, all right, give Paul Reed the backup minutes and a slightly bigger bench. Now, who the hell knows? We haven't seen Embiid in this series. Tell me what, and I think, by the way, that I think it makes sense to give Tucker a few of those center minutes, to give Reed like 10 or 11 of them, to just be a little bit more conservative. That makes sense to me. But it also, once again, assumes that Embiid is playing low 30s and he's not going to play his full minutes. So what do you have as far as this rotation looks like for minutes right now? Then we'll go to Boston.
I went 40 to Harden, 38 to Harris, 38 to Maxey, 32 to Embiid, 30 to Tucker, 26 to Melton, 12 to Niang, 12 to Paul Reed, 10 to Jalen McDaniels, a spillover minute to Shake Milton so that I can get a $1,000 guy to show up. In my optimal lineup, Jason Tatum is your captain. I don't think that anybody is going to be terribly surprised to hear that. Here are the other 5 names in my optimal lineup. Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Robert Williams, George Niang, 1,600 for today. And the final member of my optimal lineup, current NBA MVP Joel Embiid.
How much?
He's 11.
In the optimal lineup, you said.
Yeah, he's 11K. Let's say I run my top 20 lineups, no randomness, nothing. Embiid shows up in 7 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So a third of those lineups have Embiid, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about the Celtics then. There's not much more we can
I did not expect Joel Embiid to show up in the optimal lineup there.
Wait, how much Harden was it in those 20s?
10.
20? Okay, that seems reasonable. Was Tatum? How often was Tatum captain?
7.
What were the other captains?
Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown was 11. Jason Tatum was 7. And then Time Lord got 1 and Niang got 1.
Okay. Wow. So
Thank 18
of 20. Look at that. What is it?
The vanilla sweet cream nitro cold brew.
All right.
I didn't know that was coming. That was fun.
Vanilla cream nitro cold brew.
Vanilla cream nitro cold brew. Starbucks.
All right.
Yeah. Actually, this is just cold brew, not nitro.
What's nitro? More caffeine?
No, it's they pump nitrogen into it like a Guinness.
Right.
Yeah. So this is actually just a vanilla cream cold brew.
They do that with beer too, like with beer and shit too.
That's what I said.
Nitro stuff, right?
Yeah, Guinness.
Yeah. You like Guinness?
Not really.
Have you been to Europe and had beer in Europe?
No, never been. I've never been. The only other countries that I've been to are Jamaica for my honeymoon and Canada, which doesn't count.
Yeah, I've been to Canada too, and Mexico.
It was Canada before you even needed to like prove that you were going to Canada.
I went to Tijuana once.
Did you?
Yeah.
Donkey show?
What?
Donkey show?
We were in San Diego. We were in San Diego. What are you talking, Eastbound and Down?
Clerks 2. No, Jane Silent Bob Strike Clerks 2.
I don't
Clerks
like
2. Clerks 2.
Not a fan. But
whoa. All of it?
Like the Jane Silent Bob shit? Yeah, I don't like it.
You don't like Clerks?
Yeah, not for me.
You know, like Kevin Smith in general?
He's fine. He's fine, but like generally that doesn't appeal to me too much. It's not my type of comedy. It's not my type
Mallrats, Dogma?
Nah, it's fine.
Really?
It's fine. It's fine.
Really?
Yeah. Odd, right? It's fine.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I just assumed you would have been on my side for this one. You want to tell me that you don't like, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back or something? I don't care. To me, Mallrats, Mallrats, Dogma, and Clerks are three exceptional movies.
Mallrats was very good. Mallrats was very good. I don't dislike it. It's just not at my top.
I mean, Ben Affleck being like a sex pest in that is amazing.
You are an Eastbound and Down fan, right?
That's part of the reason I moved to Wilmington, North Carolina. They filmed that shit here.
What a good show. I'm going to go back and rewatch that because I have not watched it in so long now that it can kind of be new. Like I'll remember some of it, but nothing better than when I rewatched The Wire after 10 years or 12 years. Wonderful.
Yeah, agreed. I rewatched it. The moment Rudy Gobert started licking microphones a couple years ago, I was just like, well, I'm going to rewatch The Wire because I got shit else
that's
to do.
exactly what I did.
I watched 5 seasons of The Wire in like 2.5 weeks.
Yep, rewatch The Wire, rewatch the first season of True Detective. That's one I recommend anybody rewatch and watch again. Old Russ Cole out there. What a great one. You
got to come down here, man. We can go to Shaboom's together.
Yeah?
It's a real place. It's not called Shaboom's. Really? It's not called Shaboom's, but it's a real active bar.
What was the car dealership called?
Ashley Schaefer BMW.
Yeah.
I was there Monday afternoon. I had to get a tire on my car.
Really?
Yeah, that's where we bought our car.
What's it called?
I think it's just like BMW of Wilmington or something.
Okay, but it's that location. Like that's where it was filmed.
So it was Schaefer BMW. Now It is just BMW of Wilmington. Yeah, when I first moved here, I wish I still had my pictures and shit. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that was a fully real place. But yeah, I was there on Monday building NBA lineups in their lobby, drinking a coffee.
That's good stuff. Is it true? Like, is it true for people who have been to Europe and had beers that everything is served at like room temperature?
Not everything, but some. From what I understand, Guinness, like as you get closer to the Irish tap, so to speak, it's like a completely different taste profile too.
Oh, I'm sure the Guinness here is like 4.5%. I doubt it's like. It's unlikely.
I have not been, so like I'm speaking from via people that have told me this, but
I like Guinness. I just don't know if I would enjoy. I'm sure the way they do it for like the room temperature beer. I'm sure they know what like it's. I'm sure it's delicious, but the thought of it, for us around here, it's always a cold beer.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it just sort of depends what you're doing. Like if I'm out in the heat, I want like a cold Bud Heavy. It's just going to hit me different. But, if you're in like dreary ass Ireland kissing Blarney Stones and stuff, I bet it's totally fine for it to just be room temperature.
I would love to go to Europe or to Ireland.
I had a friend that went, but I've got a friend here that is from Ireland. So if it ever happens, I'll have like the true, here's what you should do type shit.
I think that'd be nice. You have a tour guide. Yeah. I think it'd be fun. Beautiful place.
I've heard nothing but good things. At some point in time, it's going to happen. Whenever this place sells, and I got a couple extra shekels in the pocket, and I can just take like 6 months to just fuck off and do whatever I want.
Ireland?
Wherever, just all across Europe.
I want to go to Greenland too.
Same. Iceland as well.
Both of them. Both. Yeah. All of those places would be phenomenal, man.
I want to eat like 70 pizzas in Italy. I want to just eat like spaghettis up and down the roads of somewhere.
I oddly don't have much interest in going to Italy.
Really?
I don't really care much for that. Yeah.
So Italy is like the Kevin Smith of countries.
Yeah, like it'd be cool. It'd be cool. But not to sound uncultured, but the architecture and all that stuff and the paintings doesn't do it for me. I'm more about like the landscape. You know what I mean? I'm more about just like going to a coast in Greenland with all those weird colored houses and stuff and looking at the glaciers and all like that to me is just that's what I like, or Ireland. That's what appeals to me. I think that's reasonable. I can see why people would want to go to Italy, but I'm all about like going to see the landscape and all of that is different than around here.
I'd like to do Greece. Go see like ultra old shit.
Yes, that's Santorini, Greece is one place I would love, where all the buildings are white.
Yeah,
and they say,
of course, you like that.
Why would you? First of all, that is wildly unacceptable and inaccurate, but it's fun.
Incredible, dude. Incredible. Of all the, I'm not shocked in any way. Chat, make sure you understand this. You understand why he likes this so much.
What? Because the buildings, I've heard, right, that I think I read this. You can look this up. That whoever ruled Greece at the time, or whatever they call their president, a PM, whatever it is, right? Maybe it was a king.
Danny Zuko, right? He ruled
whatever
Greece.
It was. That there was like a bad illness or a plague or something that was running through Greece, and he thought that by painting the buildings white, that it would help to alleviate that and remove the plague.
I mean,
I'm right, right, Jacob?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, what was it, cholera? Yeah. An outbreak of cholera in Greece. Dictator. I had that one wrong. Dictator Metaxas, the ruler of Greece at the time, passed a new law for all houses in Cyclades to be whitewashed in an effort to stop its spread. Interesting stuff. I bet it worked. Yeah. I'm sure that was foolproof plan there.
Paint those buildings white.
Yeah. All right.
Terrible, Laffy. Terrible human being.
I think you're pretty terrible for assuming something so judgmental and hurtful. All right. Talk to me about the Boston Celtics here. What do you want to do with Tatum and Brown at the top? Actually, you have more of them right now than anybody else in the 18 of your 20 optimal or 20 top lineups have one of Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum.
Yeah, and they have to, as ridiculous as that sounds. Like, they're very clearly the best options you can get to, particularly Jaylen Brown. Like, his salary is so easy to get to today that I don't really see a path to, like, what the hell did I have before this? Give me 1 second. So, like, before Embiid was involved in this slate, I actually had real data to talk about. This is going to be like a good show instead of me just calling Laffy racist because of white buildings in Greece. Jaylen Brown was in 70% of my optimals, as was Jason Tatum, as was James Harden. Like, getting to two of those three guys, or potentially all three, was not only like relatively easy, but it was exactly what you should have been doing. Now that we're integrating Embiid, Jaylen Brown for 9K just like is sort of going to be the most popular second guy to get into everything, or first guy if you want him to. I mean, I just ran a crunch now with 500 lineups with my randomness turned on. Jaylen Brown is my most frequent captain because of that price tag. 31% of the time he was in those 500 lineups. Jason Tatum was 28. So you're getting 60% of my captain ownership in and around going to one of Tatum or Brown. It's hard to get away from those guys today. But Brown in particular, to me, stands out.
Did you make a Danny Zuko joke and I missed it earlier?
Yeah, I said he runs Greece.
Yeah, somebody actually thought you were being... Did this guy just say Danny Zuko, the leader of Greece? I think they're talking about two different Greases.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
I didn't even realize you said that until I saw the comment. Wait, you didn't know that in 1938, the dictator of Greece was not from the movie?
In 1938, I didn't know there was a dictator of Greece, if I'm being honest.
Well, it was dictator Metaxas.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I knew that they painted the bill. Like, I knew everything about that story other than that there was a dictator in Greece in the 30s.
Have you seen the pictures though of Santorini, Greece? Like right on.
Yeah.
Might be one of the most beautiful locations in the world.
Yeah, I just want to see all of the old architecture of Greece, all of the remnants of, 1800 years ago.
Near the water too. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, hey guys, before we go over just the final tune-ups for these lineups right now, Prize Picks is doing the $1 million every single day during the NBA season. So one person every single day is selected. All you have to do is enter a lineup into the 6-pick flex play for $5 minimum. And you throw your hat in the ring. You could be selected. They give you, if you're selected, you're getting a 6-pick flex play card. If you hit that, you get $1 million. If you hit 5 of 6, you're getting $80K. If you hit 4 of 6, $16K. Just a nice little icing on the cake type situation where if you're not over there yet, you use the link in the description or in chat, you're already getting 100% deposit match bonus up to $100. So if you put $100 in, you get another 100. Even if you only have 10, you put 10 in, you're getting another 10. You got 20 now. And a free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum. Very simply, if you are not signed up at Prize Picks yet, the link is in the description and in chat. You're getting a month of all of our tools, every single sport, as we mentioned earlier, $120 value. You're getting the 100% first match deposit bonus up to $100. And they're doing the every day of the NBA playoffs. Someone is going to have a shot at winning $1 million. Josh's videos are out every single day for Prize Picks on the Odd Shopper channel. Today might be less likely to win given that he had Joel Embiid projected out. Oh, you didn't do that one yet?
If you're interested in Prize Picks content today, you're in luck. Those videos won't be dog shit like my contenders videos.
Oh, okay. So that one's not done yet. Okay,
no,
good.
It's not.
Good. On the we have the Pick'em Pro tool, which is amazing for Bet Pro, for Prize Picks. Like you're leaving money, legitimate money on the table if you're not doing this. Link in the description and in chat. And Josh, just to throw this out there, BetMGM for anyone that's not for someone that's not in, I know this happens all the time. I see the comments in chat. I get DM'd all the time. They go, Prize Picks isn't available in my state. My state sucks, right? Most of those states are probably going to be legal betting states, which means BetMGM, you sign up for BetMGM, link is down there too. You're also getting a free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum, okay? All you do there, this deal is equally as good because you deposit $10, bet it on whatever you want. Doesn't matter if you win or lose. You're getting all of our content for free for the first month. We do this because we think you're going to win. We expect you to win and stick around. You're getting the Discord. You're getting every sport. So BetMGM, if Prize Picks isn't available to you, BetMGM probably is, unless you just live in a real shitty state where you don't have any of that. I think 2 states or 1 don't have either. Otherwise, you've got like 48 state overlap on all of these. And with BetMGM, you're getting up to $1,000 first bet insurance. So if your first bet loses up to $1,000, you're getting all of that back in bonus bets. Don't be silly. Straight no-brainers. Take advantage depending on what state you're in. And of course, you must be 21 years or older to gamble. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right.
Yeah. I don't know how I pulled Danny Zuko. Like that is not something, that's not something that's in my brain.
I had to look it up. I didn't know who that was.
Like I have never seen that movie start to finish.
I've never seen it start. Yeah, I had to look it up. I did not know who that was. But when he said, I think they're confusing the two, I assumed he was from the movie Grease. Yeah. And then, of course, he was.
Can we talk about how ridiculous that song is, though?
I don't even know the song. What song?
Did she put up, I mean, so B in chat, did she put up a fight? I mean, they're basically talking like, hey, were you able to get in there? Or like, did you have to handle your business on your own? It's really like, you couldn't
they're
sing
talking about the R word.
Yeah. At the very, close to it.
At the very least, forceful.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Is that the song?
God, pull the lyrics.
So people are trying to cancel that completely innocuous song, Baby, It's Cold Outside, but nobody's got a problem with this Grease song?
I think a lot of people do.
What is it? Did she put up a struggle?
Fight.
Oh. What are the other words? Like, no, I brought duct tape?
Let's pull it up here.
What are the lyrics to this song?
I'm pulling them up now. Okay.
What if she just got into like a brawl outside of the bar with another lady? Maybe it's
well, I mean, like the guy's portion of it is tell me more. Did she put up a fight?
Oh, I know the tell me more one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's insane.
What are the lyrics? Read them.
I just did. I mean, that's the part. That's the one that matters.
But is there anything else that would suggest that's what they're talking about?
I mean, they made out under a dock. If she's putting up a fight there, and not a lot of people around for them screams.
Yeah, he took her somewhere secluded. That's not good.
No. I mean, to be fair, it's not like John Travolta was interested in her.
All right. Well, hey, this has been fun.
Man, do we need to talk about the Celtics?
Well, we do, but I honestly think much of what we went over when you were talking about your optimals covers a lot of ground. But
yeah, I don't think there's a lot of like wiggle room on the Celtics unless they find out if Joe Mazzulla wants to actually play Grant Williams.
So essentially, are there any value? Who are the cheap options we're getting to from both sides today? That's more valuable than just talking about the rest of the Celtics team.
Agreed. So if you're a believer in George Niang staying in the rotation and playing, anything in that 10, 12 minutes range, he's 1,600. Now that we have Embiid, Harden, Brown, Tatum, you're going to get a lot of constructions with three of those guys. You got to punt somewhere. So Niang, very viable at 1,600. If Niang isn't your guy and you think it's going to be Jalen McDaniels is $600 more expensive than Niang, but those are the two pay-up options you're looking for. If you think Boston goes to Sam Hauser for increased minutes today, played 4.5 on Monday. Hauser is 1,200. Those are probably the three pay down options you can get to. I don't know why Grant Williams didn't get discounted more. He's 3,200 on DraftKings. Very difficult to get to. Not going to pull any ownership. I played him in 10 to 15% of my lineups on Monday because I thought this was the perfect opportunity to bring him back in. Can guard Harden a bit. I don't know what the hell he did in Boston. Maybe the loss gets them the snap out of it, but he's made for this series. I don't know what they're waiting for. They need to get Grant Williams out there. I think we see him by the end of the series. I don't know because it doesn't seem like they like him any longer.
Maybe not. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's hard to say because from game to game, so much can get changed up. I'm not really sure how much you had to adjust for if you're Boston. Don't turn the ball over and play better defense. I'm not sure how much they're going to adjust. There is one final thing I need to ask you about here that I don't want to forget. Okay. Marcus Smart is questionable.
Okay.
With a chest contusion. My guess is he plays. All right. My guess is he's going to play. I assume that you're on the same page as me here.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it.
Okay, but he is technically questionable. So let's just cover our bases so we don't end up having the contenders go to shit because Joel Embiid and then Marcus Smart gets ruled out at 11:30 and we go, oh, we probably should have talked about that because it's huge. So for the almost 300 people watching with us right now, by the way, hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so yet, fellas. Tone for your sins. Greatly appreciated. Helps us out a lot. And yeah, you know the drill. Just a subtle reminder for all of us who forget simple things from day to day, like myself. If Marcus Smart were not to play on a showdown slate where everything makes an impact, what do we do?
You play way more Derek White. You play Malcolm Brogdon in close to everything. Brogdon had it's a different game now. Brogdon's not he was able to get to the rim pretty much whenever he wanted to in that first game. Embiid changed the equation a little bit, but Brogdon's playing 30 plus at that point at 5,800. It's a no-brainer. White's minutes become 30 plus. He becomes a no-brainer. And then at that point, I think Grant Williams is absolutely playing because Marcus Smart and Grant Williams play a very similar role defensively. I think if we were to happen to lose Marcus Smart, you're getting 20 plus minutes out of Grant Williams by default.
Okay. But yeah, White and Brogdon just see a massive bump here.
I think Brogdon ends up being in optimal lineups as close to the top as possible.
Yeah, I think you're right. Appreciate you guys hanging out as always. Only one game today, but it's a weird one. It's a weird one. If Joel Embiid is in fact going to play, and I assume at this point he definitely is, it's not just that. Now that's one hurdle. Then you got to get into what is it going to look like with Joel Embiid on what is he going to look like? How many minutes is he going to play? You're going to just have to make some assumptions here. Josh. Like, you're just going to have to
Yeah.
make some assumptions. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, you can follow Josh at Josh Engleman. You can follow me at Laffy. Laffy_D.
Oh my God, dude. What just came out of you?
I had 3 eggs on rye toast.
Ugh, rye toast. So gross.
Toasted rye is nice.
Rye is a disgusting flavor.
No, it's good. You gotta get used to it. But it all came back up, so I guess I'll need to eat again.
Oh, it's like a growl. Like a demon came out of you.
Follow me a lot. I wasn't. The funny thing is, like, that wasn't. I didn't even try and contain it or say. You just got to roll with that. Follow me at Laffy_D, LOUGHY_D. Shout out to Jacob Roach for an excellent job producing as always. We'll see you back here tomorrow. One game tomorrow too. Is it Phoenix, LA tomorrow, or Golden State? It might be Golden State, Lakers.
Well, you asked me if it was Phoenix, LA. I don't know how to answer that because they don't.
I meant
play
Phoenix,
other.
Denver. You know what I mean.
I think it's LA.
It's LA and Golden State. Yep.
I
Appreciate
don't know why,
guys.
but yeah.
Appreciate you guys. We'll see you back here shortly. Follow Josh, follow me, and join our chalkboard. It's free, as you guys know. Picks are all free. Everything's free. Sync your own sports books. Odd Shopper, dude. The results came out on Odd Shopper, and Odd Shopper. It was if you had been betting $100 up 5 minutes before lock on all of the plus EV bets, and I understand not everyone can do that, but if you had been betting $100 on all the plus EV bets 5 minutes before lock, because that's the way we can track this, since the beginning of the baseball season, you would be up $80,000 right now.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's been crushing. And we're throwing Odd Shopper plays in chalkboard every day. A lot of the plays we're throwing in there are coming straight from Odd Shopper. So if you're not there yet, come join us. It's been a blast. And we keep building the community of people who love talking sports, DFS, betting, all that stuff all throughout the day. So we'll see you there if you're not just trying to chat in YouTube every day. Peace.